all are in this little guard room here. We've just busted through the door, fought off a few bugbears, and Gundren is checking to see how his brother Tharden is doing.
So I think I'd like to search the corpses while Gundren's seeing to his brother.
Do an investigation for me. Most of them don't really seem to have anything of note. One in particular has a nice little potion with almost like an orange kind of hue to it. Seems to have a little like red flakes. And then he has a collection of coins on him as well. And no, I've got written down here, but bam. You are able to find 15 copper and 13. Yeah, I think you guys have found electrum already. 13 electrum pieces.
Okay, so the money can go into the party loot for now. I don't think I'd be able to identify the potion, so I might hand it to see if Mark or Victor can identify it.
What is it?
Orange hue
orange.
potion with red flakes.
I gotcha. Yeah. Can I try and identify it?
Do you actually have the identify spell?
Oh no, I do not. I was gonna try.
Just like an Arcana check, you can roll that.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to have a real clue as to what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Gundren, how's your brother look?
Seems to be breathing. That's at least a good start. This seems to be an interesting setup that they have here. 5 bugbears watching a nearly dead dwarf. They don't seem to be torturing him, but they're barred themselves into this room. And I think by this point as well, you all would recognize that the door on the opposite side as well is barricaded from this side.
Do we know Gundren's brother's name?
Tharden.
That's right.
I believe this is the one that you all nearly intercepted from the Cragmaw Castle.
Right, and then we did meet him in the swamp roll, I think, but he wouldn't leave. Or was that a different brother?
Nope, that's who I was thinking. I'm pretty sure it's the same. I can pop into my notes and confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking up last week. Shift is such a terrible push to speak button.
So was Tharden tied up at all, or just unconscious?
Right now, just unconscious. He does not seem to be tied up.
So I wonder if they were guarding him or trying to barricade themselves from something else. Just took the dwarf with them. Seems odd to have that many bugbears guarding a single unconscious dwarf.
Anything going on in this little corner that looks like a hallway? To the north here?
The north side?
Aston? Yeah. Looks like that should go somewhere. Let me investigate.
Oh, I thought for a second you were asking Justin, so I shut up. That was the only thing.
I do kind of want to ask Justin if he thinks there's anything.
So you're talking about the north here behind Tharden?
Yeah, strange piece of architecture.
Yeah, I'll head up and take a look, see if there's anything catches my eye about the walls or.
You can do an investigation, and it was indeed Tharden who was with Grohl. There doesn't seem to be anything in particular about this section. You notice perhaps there's like a different like kind of stone through part of it. So maybe while they were delving in this section, they actually stopped this little spot and just finished it off into a cubby hole because they hit like a firmer stone. But it doesn't seem to be like anything hidden. It's more just like the practicality of the dwarven excavation.
Okay, so I'll relay that to Burke. Move back in towards the center of the room. Anything of any interest on this? Looks like maybe a table in the middle of the room.
I've always kind of thought that was a pillar. But basically, like looking around this room, that same like investigation can function here. It seems to be that this is some sort of barracks that the bugbears have been staying in. There doesn't appear to be much food. I don't think you all had anybody who spoke Goblinoid to actually understand what they were saying before, but yeah, I feel like looking through things, it seems like maybe they've barricaded themselves in here and they've been holding off for a while.
Kind of wonder what they're afraid of. Didn't seem to be us.
I wish we knew what they'd been talking about, but
Can I go and listen at that door to the east there?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
I'm not rolling shit tonight.
I think probably the biggest thing you're gonna pick up trying to listen through the door is it seems on some level the pressure of like what I described as like the breath of the cave, like the way the water was crashing, it seems stronger from this side. And like putting your ear to the actual door, you can feel those vibrations through the stone a little bit stronger. So you can probably gather pretty safely that this is probably the way towards the pools that this place is kind of known for. But that's kind of what you pick up sound-wise.
I relay that to the party.
Does anyone need a short rest?
I'm good. I mean, I'm down to one spell slot, by the way. I'm running low on power.
yeah, it hasn't been long since our last short rest, so I don't know how many. I don't think we're gonna get a lot more of them. Might want to hold off for now.
Yeah, mechanically, we had spoken about last time that you basically get 2 short rests and a long rest in a day. So there's certain dangers regardless to trying to rest in dungeons. But that is also another limiting factor you will have across an actual day of adventuring.
Right.
And I think that was in
Tharden
relation to Chris saying, "Oh yeah, I'll just get another one of those by resting." Like, maybe.
Is Tharden conscious, or we try to revive him? Maybe he has some idea about what's going
Do a medicine check.
I can help with that.
He seems to be healthy in that he's like breathing, but he also seems to be quite hazy, perhaps in a way like he doesn't quite know what's going on. He hasn't seemed to actually like recognize Gundren at this point, nor has he really spoken much.
Okay. Guard and or Gundren, I assume you'll want to be keeping an eye on your brother. Is he think he's fit to move?
I think he's strong enough to move if I had to. I wouldn't be inclined to take him any closer to any new dangers. What have you in mind?
Oh, I just should we continue pressing on? I just want to ensure that he won't slow us down, or wanted to get a sense if you need to hang back to take care of him, or should press on ahead without you.
I don't rightly know the proper course of action myself. You all are inclined to leave this place. Tempted to say he's safe in this room. The barricades, at least. I'm not sure whether I should be staying with him or I should push on with you all as well.
Well, perhaps the first thing we should do is get an idea of what's behind this door to the east. Victor, you said you thought you heard maybe you felt some vibrations.
It's kind of close to where the stuff are in this cave. The mass of them is that way.
Roll intelligence for me as well, Victor. You're pretty sure you're not going to open the door and find that waterway. It's just like the sense that it's to the east of you, and it's perhaps much closer than like through the hall that you all last passed. You felt it through this entire place, and that gives you a sense like you're not just going to open that door and be at that point.
Gotcha. So we're just a lot closer. Gotcha.
Yeah, like it's basically because your perception was so bad, essentially what you gathered was simply that the east is in some way the direction of that water point, not necessarily that it's like right beyond that door.
Yeah.
And you don't really know why somebody would bar the door to keep out what seems like waves.
And so I guess the question is, do we try and move on east, or head back the way we were going up those stairs?
Well, we did what we came to do, right? We rescued Thardan, so what do we need to do next? We have a goal.
They've kept Thardan alive, then perhaps Nundra is here as well. I am still tempted to say this spider you've spoken about would have killed them, but I am truly surprised to find my brother here and breathing.
Well, if there's a chance your other brother is alive somewhere in here as well, I suppose our next course of action is to try and find him.
I think if you all intend to unbar that door, maybe I could hide Nundro in these rocks just beyond this hallway. And perhaps he can... Did you guys see where I was pinging? Just like basically to the south in that hall. Maybe we can hide him and he'll be safe where people perhaps aren't looking.
Are these actually like beds in this room, or?
Yeah, there's 6 beds in this room. So Tharden is basically on one of the beds, like passed out. And you can pretty quickly gather that the other... They're not like fancy beds. They're definitely essentially like what you guys would roll out, like your bed roll on stone.
Okay. I was thinking like we could just kind of trash the room up a little bit and like have a in a bed like leaned up against like a corner or something and hide a Tharden behind something like that using the beds and stuff.
If you all don't intend to leave through that eastern door, I think that would be a really good idea for us to be able to hide him here. There's clearly been a fight, and we don't need to get rid of the bodies if we hide everything in destruction.
I like that.
So we'll go up the stairs. Leave the room barricaded.
Yeah, for now, that seems a fair plan.
Yeah, and kind of hide them in the destruction.
I'm not ready to take on whatever 5 bugbears we're scared of to the east.
I agree. All right.
Yes.
So Gundren, can you barricade yourself in here with your brother as we head west?
If you think that's the proper course of action, I would be happy to.
Do like a special knock when we're ready for you to let us back in.
I can probably set something up with him. I know Gundren speaks or knows thieves can't, so I could sort of arrange a sort of brief series of knocks that will let him know it's us.
Most certainly, you can effectively do a Morse code.
All right, so I guess if the rest of you are, we'll just assume that Ezra and Dom are sticking with them to protect them for while we look further ahead. For now.
Yeah. Yep.
The
So
others are staying behind. Perhaps it's best that I go look for Nundro with you.
That makes sense.
That works. Makes sense to me. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to. I think Jasna will try and stealthily move towards and up these stairs.
So as you approach the stairs, you see a T-junction with the wall ahead of you leading downstairs to the east and then down a corridor to the west.
Alright, so I'll continue sort of stealthily move up here. The stairs. Maybe once I kind of come to the T junction, I'll sort of pause and try and listen to see if I hear anything coming from either direction.
Roll a perception check. The west seems rather quiet. There is some like vibration, perhaps, in the floor itself. From the east, you hear water kind of cascading. It's somewhat like a deafening sound. Vaguely assuming there's like not necessarily rushing water, but flowing water in that direction.
Okay. To my on the map to my left, these sort of are these marks anything I would notice, or are they just kind of on the map there?
That's like the bullshittery of this is technically a DM map that I have harvested here. That is the water flow leaving this room that you all have left behind. The water is flowing out of this room and in that direction. I don't think it's absurd for you all to have recognized it, except for that nobody really went that far north exploring that room.
Okay. All right. So I'll gesture, kind of call back to the others, and then just maybe we explore further, continue on back to the east down these stairs. But if either of you want to check the corridor first, you can do that as well.
And that's kind of where we're going up the stairs. I'm gonna look to you and ask him if he can turn into a raven. Kind of curious, because I don't remember. I read it in the thing that he can't. So I was just kind of, asking.
You summon me in my natural form, but you can summon me in other forms.
Oh. Okay. Curious. Basically, I can just turn him into a raven or like a rat or something. I looked it up in the search. You can play more things.
From what I understand, you have access to essentially the Find Familiar spell in its normal function, which you can summon a fey you can normally summon a fey creature in different forms of smaller creatures. So there's a lot of things that you can summon them as. A raven is definitely among those things. The Pact of the Fiends specifically, though, gives you access to summoning an imp. So right now, your fiend is summoned in its natural form, versus if you cast the spell, you can choose to summon him as something like a raven.
Oh, so I had to recast it again.
Yep.
Every time. Okay.
Yep,
It's
to
not at
switch
will.
his form, you have to cast the spell.
I gotcha. That sucks. Okay.
Can a
Never
raven
mind.
turn invisible?
I guess not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm much better than a raven. And I'll still be an asshole even as a raven.
Noted. And you said you wanted somebody to check out the other one? Check out the other corridor, Justin?
Well, I'm asking, do we want to go west or east?
Oh, I got you.
East down the stairs or west? Check out this corridor. I can't really make out anything coming in from the west.
Yeah, I guess let's go east then.
All right, so I will stealthily start moving down these stairs to the east. I'll have my torch out at this point.
So you guys are still doing like the dagger light thing.
Oh yeah, the pebble or the rock. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as that's still up, then yeah, we'll use that.
I feel like light is 20-foot distance.
Yep, 20 feet.
So it's slightly less than what I was revealing, but it's not a big deal. You more or less see a large room start to open up as it kind of washes out into the darkness. It's hard to make out anything that perhaps you see the sign of this running water to the north of you, but it's in the darkness, like beyond in the dim light. It's really difficult to see whether it's just like some flowing water, something glassy. It's hard to make out.
Okay. I'm going to. I'll sort of continue creeping in a little bit, trying to get a better sense of what's might be in this room. Victor, does your imp have dark vision?
Can see magical darkness or something like that? Yeah, the magical darkness doesn't impede his vision. Oh. No, he does have dark vision. He does have dark vision. Yeah, it says the magical darkness does not impede his dark. Yeah, I would kind of use my ability to kind of see through his eyes.
So as you go into his vision, you see your friends before you, and outside of the light of Justin's dagger, you start to see a sign of something that seems to be a little bit whiter just to the north outside of his vision. As you kind of watch it, you see little like speckles, and it starts to become clear that it's a little bit of a flowing stream above you. You see like a white cloud to kind of the northeast. It seems to be perhaps where the water is falling over an edge. And to the east of you, you see like a deeper darkness start to flow over this area. But most of what he sees in this room is like a flat gray of stone. And there's little bits of details that belie like parts of the wall that comes out in odd and irregular shapes, but it's really difficult to make out anything in particular. What's his dark vision for? 60, 120? So he sees kind of four really dark black areas that would likely be like voids in the actual grays of the stone. One to the like far north, one a little bit east and kind of south of that, and then another one slightly north of Justin, but almost directly east of him.
I relay all that. What were the last two things you said? I heard you like you pointed out the directions where they were. I didn't actually hear what you said. What they were.
They're black voids where like the gray of the stone seems to just get really dark.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That's one of the reasons why dark vision is not a substitute for light, is that you see in black, grays, and white. You don't see shit before you, and it's really difficult as a human to describe a scene in grays. But that's one of the things that I hate about people who try to pick a dark vision class so they never have to cast light. Because when you have light, I can describe a scene to you. When you have dark vision, you see like this washed out vision of the stone, and there's little hints that tell you where there's like rough spots in the stone. There's like dark voids where the stone drops out. I feel like kind of a whiteness to the actual river to the north of you makes sense because it is like almost sparkling in the darkness, but in the long run, like he doesn't really see better than you all, and he certainly sees like this wall of where the light from Justin's light drops out, because he sees all of you in color. He sees like the stone in color, and there's different like levels of the stone inside of this immediate area of light. But the moment he starts to look beyond that, it's very like washed out, like a gray palette on a painting.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to slowly, stealthily start moving to the north towards where that one void and where the sort of what might be water is coming from.
So you start to see an opening that's like to the northwest of you. Water kind of flowing out of like a little like 4-foot area. It's more or less a stream. It's not flowing under pressure. It's not flowing fast, but on some level, like it is a regular flow coming from that western point. And again, that would kind of confirm to you that it is indeed flowing from that other room that you all just left. See the actual stream crossing an otherwise finished floor. Seems to be finished masonry, but it's at present just like a random stream flowing through this random area.
Does it look cut into the floor, or is it just running on the surface of the floor?
Right now, it just seems to be running on the surface of the floor.
And south of us, the cave, is it cave wall but finished floor? Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah. To the south of you all, it's kind of back to a rather like rough cave wall. Most of the floor in this place isn't like the finest thing, but it is certainly smoothed out. It's not tiled as the actual picture goes. That's actually the grid of the like produced drawing. But it still seems that there was like some like finished quality to this room.
It seems like we're getting away a little bit from the finished room that we were in below.
Well, perhaps if we continue on east, this may back around towards the other barricaded room. Follow the flow of the stream for now.
Yeah, we'll get to see what they were barricading from.
Victor, you said there was some sort of possible opening over to the east of me, right?
Yes.
I'm going to sort of Jason will sort of sticking close to the stream. He's going to start moving east across the room.
So as you start to follow the stream, you actually start to hear this like cascading of the water and start to see the first signs of like almost like a mist kind of rising from this point to your east, before you quickly recognize that there's like a bit of a cliff face just beyond where you're at that point. And as it kind of opens up, you start to see over the edge. And in the moment that you spy over the edge, we're going to see a few creatures who have been hiding from you all. And they're all like hunched up against the wall, kind of like crouched down.
Does it look like they've seen me? Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, I guess we're going to initiative.
Yeah, they spotted you all. Like, they've been hiding since you essentially were discussing at the top of the stairs.
Oh shit. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. I cast Shatter in that room back there,
Yeah.
which is like also fairly loud. So it probably you know, echoed out to the entire cave. They know we're here. Fuck.
Had to do it. It was totally critical that you did that.
Uh,
To just and see how far down, like how far the water drops down, how far below them are the bugbears.
I think it's a 10-foot little rift, 20 feet deep.
Okay, and is it pretty sheer or is it sloped that we could like it could walkable down? Is it pretty sharply sloped?
Oh god, let's think about my ability to say a grade. I feel like it is a 45-degree angle. It's pretty like sharp. You're not like in danger of just falling, but it is certainly not something that you can simply walk down.
Okay. So mechanically, I guess that means some sort of acrobatics check or difficult terrain. We try to get down.
Yeah, like there's a strength check to try to climb down without a rope. To
Okay.
like we could probably make an acrobatics check if you wanted to use dex for it. But yeah, there's essentially like a test to see about making your way in and out of this area.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so Victor, as you all kind of follow up against things, right now, realistically, you're reacting to Justin reacting to these creatures. You currently cannot see them, but he has effectively called out to where you know there's something down there.
okay. Um. And did you? I'm sorry. Did you say how far down they were?
Like it's basically 20 feet down, like the
Okay.
actual like cliff. That's part of why you can't see them. So it's like, what is it, 10 feet down every 5 feet? I think it's probably closer to like 15 feet down every 5 feet. It's just beyond 5 feet wide.
Ah. Okay. If I stand like right here, can I shoot them? Excuse me, blast them?
It's more or less like at the edge.
Like right there.
Yeah, I guess that's the bullshittery of the actual the squares that you fall into. So if you attack from one back, they'll have cover. From that point, you're like attacking down the actual plane of the ground.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna Eldritch Blast that one to the south east of me.
23 hits.
Wow. Wait, what? Hold on. Plus 0.
Well, it was +3. You rolled a.
Right, but this says plus 4 plus 0. It should be plus my
Yeah, so it's 1d10 plus
charisma.
3,
Right.
and then you rolled 1 plus 3, so you got 4. I don't know what that extra modifier is for, but anything, I don't think.
I think it's. I don't. Yeah. Okay. All right, it's 4 then. 'Cause I thought I added my charisma to the damage. I think that 3 is the plus to that damage though.
Yeah, the 3 is your Eldritch Invocation. You
Uh-huh.
roll the 1 out of the D10.
I don't know why
I think the
it has
plus
the 0 there.
0 is a test against. I think the plus 0 is from that second part of the equation where it says rolling 4 plus 1d10 plus 1d0 CS. I feel like whatever that second part of the equation after the rolling 4 is part of what messed that up. That equation seems like it's rolling a d0. So it's always going to end in that plus 0.
Okay, that's weird. I don't think it was like that before. I don't know.
Maybe it goes up later.
That's
And,
part of what I was thinking, because eventually cantrips go up, but Eldritch Blast is a little bit different in that, like, you get extra shots rather than the damage goes up. So it's the one that doesn't actually change, like, damage-wise.
Okay. After I'm also gonna use my vacation to push him 10 feet to the east. I'm gonna back off the edge. No, that'll be my turn.
So as the bugbear to the northeast kind of makes contact with Justin, like eye contact with you, it's going to try to run up that little cliff. It makes its way up. It's going to leap across the water. And it's going to take 2 attacks on Justin. One's definitely going to miss with an 8. And another's going to hit with 25. And it will do 7 damage. Bludgeoning. God, it would be so mean to actually surprise you with those creatures. Instead of having them try to hide. And it'll go to Justin. Yep.
Alright, I draw up my rapier. Going to try and get insightful fighting on the bugbear that just attacked me.
What are you doing as you draw the rapier?
Oh, I was saying going to try and get insightful fighting with my bonus action, but I'm pretty sure it'll beat that 4.
Oh, yeah.
To try and get sneak attack, but
Yep.
So I'll just
So
try
what
to.
are you holding right now?
So I think Burke had cast light on sort of a rock that I was carrying rather than a dagger. No, I had a torch in one hand. No, we just had the rock.
You had the rock, which you can drop on the ground. I think that's what happened in the last bugbear fight.
Yeah, so I guess I would drop that on the ground.
Excellent. That was what I was trying to get out of you.
Okay, yeah, and then draw the rapier and sort of palliate.
22 will hit.
That would just be 5 piercing damage. And can't disengage, so I will hold there for now.
And that'll go to Burke, my bad.
All right, Burke's gonna charge up, attack this guy that's attacking Justin. My Warhammer.
23 will hit.
Did 10 damage, it looks like. And that's it. That's my turn.
Alright, the next bugbear is gonna try to run up this ledge. And he's going to swing on Victor. A 23 to hit. He's gonna do 10 damage.
Got it.
And then the next one is gonna struggle up the actual wall. He's gonna try again and kind of fail. And it's gonna go back to Victor.
Okay, so if I cast right now, you manage. Fuck it. I got inspiration. I'm gonna try and blast him off the cliff.
Alright, so you can effectively do a straight roll. 23 will hit.
Oh, I thought I was at disadvantage.
Okay. So normally inspiration works ahead of time, that you use it to basically give yourself like
Oh, okay.
something similar to advantage. So I was taking it at that. If you wanted to gamble for it, because I'm usually pretty open of letting people use inspiration closer to luck, you can miss that and then you have a chance to roll using your inspiration.
Or I can just burn the. Okay. I'm gonna take it and just lose the inspiration.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, I'm going to blast him.
Roll
off
the actual damage.
What the fuck? Damn. All right. Or again.
Did you get damage rolling backwards down that craggy slope, though?
I'm also gonna run away. Right back here.
Yeah, he seems to like fall down the actual slope itself, unable to hold his balance.
That's probably as far as I can get right there. I'm gonna run back there. I'm also going to. I don't think it's an action. I'm just gonna ask you to go invisible again.
Roll a d20.
Got a 16.
The bugbear north of Justin's going to swing once at Justin and once at Burke. It is going to crit on Justin, dealing 14 damage, and it's going to miss Burke with a 10.
All right, well, that knocks me down.
You goes invisible. And then death save for Justin. Justin coughs up blood. And it will go to Burke.
All right. Burke's pissed about that outcome. He's gonna take a swing at this this guy. And miss.
The one to the east of Justin's going to try to climb up the wall. Failing again. He's going to try again. Fail again.
Damn.
Using half his movement, the one's going to stand. It's going to run back up the wall. He is going to chuck a javelin at Victor. Should hit you with a 18 for 3
Yep.
damage.
All right.
And then it's going to go to Victor.
Okay, I am going to blast him again. The same bugbear who just ran up and attacked me with the javelin.
Gonna crit him, dealing 14 damage. He's gonna try to struggle to maintain his balance as he's thrown off the wall to the opposite side. And 1, 2. Seems like perhaps he made it.
Okay, I'm going to stay there. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay right here at the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, the bugbear standing over Justin's body is going to swing twice at Burke. I'm going to miss with an 11. Should hit with an 18 for 10 damage.
No, my armor class is 19.
You will miss.
Ooh.
Pinging off your shield. And it's going to go to Justin. And Justin coughs up blood and stops breathing.
So it's Burke's turn.
Yep, it'll go around to Burke.
Burke's gonna reach out and spare the dying on Justin.
Pop spare the dying for me. Pretty sure it's too late.
But he's only had 2 rounds of.
I rolled a
Yeah, but
2
no.
and I rolled a 1.
And that one is 2 death saving. There's 2 strikes.
Okay. So can I already know that? So as not to waste the spare the dying. I mean, I thought he was on his second
Quite
round.
literally, the reason why I hide death saving rolls is because I want people to recognize that the moment somebody is down, the urgency is already there. So no, I don't think so. I think reaching down to help him is when you recognize that he seems to have choked on blood and already died.
All right. Well, it's my turn.
Finally climbing up the wall. The one is going to swing out at Burke. It's going to crit for 14 damage. And the other bugbear does not seem to come up from down below. Go back to Victor.
Okay, I'm going to. No. I'm going to move up Actually, no. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. I'm going to blast the one south of Burke, or excuse me, attempt to.
23 will hit.
All right. I'm going to blast him 10 feet to the east.
I feel like that 0 is a check against the critical.
I don't know. I think if I didn't have that invocation, like to add my charisma modifier to the damage, it wouldn't be nothing, right? It would be just straight just a D10 roll, the
Yep.
damage, right? Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that got added in. I'm sorry. That's the end for me.
You hear like a thump and a clunk as you send it over the edge again. Just beyond Burke, the 1 is going to... I think it's just going to swing twice into Burke. 22 to hit for 7 damage.
That's it for Burke.
And as the creature steps past Burke, looking down towards Victor, it's going to slowly start to turn blue as the flesh and the hair of the bugbear seem to like sloth? Damn, that's the wrong word. It like falls off of its flesh, almost as if it's melting in acid, and you just see like a naked blue form in front of you. Your time here is finished. If you intend to move forward, now would be the time to treat with the spider. And it's going to go to Burke.
Burke's dead.
Kind of gasp for... Oh, no, that was just me rolling for you. Kind of gasps for a bit of air. And to Victor.
Okay. So yeah, that bugbear to the left, excuse me, to the west of him, is a blue figure now.
It is indeed.
Okay. Man, oh boy. And that bugbear just ran up. Oh, okay. Oh. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to blast the bugbear to the south of Jaston.
I want to talk to these guys.
Uh. Oh, wait. What?
Well, it just spoke to you, and I'm dead and Burke's unconscious. You've got 3 bugbears left.
I was gonna blast him and then run away. It's not. What am I? It's not gonna let me like take you guys. I don't think. I couldn't carry you back anyway. Or I don't know. What did he say again?
What? I think it said your friend is dead. Now is the
That's
time
it.
to treat with the black spider. I improv everything, so I don't often remember what I said
No, you're
moments
good.
after saying it.
Yeah, I think it
So
said your time here is finished. If you intend to continue, now is the time to treat with the spider.
All
And we
right.
finally found the doppelganger.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave. You know, if you just let me get my friends, and we'll just leave. Okay? I think we're done. That's what he says.
Burke is going to cough up blood, and the creature is going to respond to you. Your choice to leave is past. You intend to live. You will come with me. And it's going to close the ground to you, as well as the others going to move forward.
Yeah, I don't resist. I'm just gonna put my hands up at this point.
Is going to fail to stabilize Burke. So another roll from him. He's going to cough up blood again. It's going to try to stabilize him again. And fucking fail again. Burke gasps for air. Are you doing anything in like the immediate presence? It's trying to like keep Burke alive right now.
Oh, me?
Yep, not necessarily an initiative, but it's also not necessarily a hostile moment at this point. You've essentially surrendered.
I would, when he tried to stabilize Berg, I would try and assist him if I could.
Do you have medicine proficiency?
I do not know.
Do you have a med kit?
You do have healing. You have at least a couple healing potions.
Probably on
Oh.
Burke.
Yeah, I would take out the healing potion on Burke and then pour it in his mouth.
All right, you can do that for sure. Kind of like running forward to it as it goes to stabilize him. You can basically run forward, going for the healing potion, and pour one into his mouth.
That's, what is that? You roll.
2d4 plus 2, right?
Yeah, I think
That sounds right.
I feel like it's +1 for each d4. I think it's 2d4 plus 2.
6 then. It's 6 HP.
Thanks, buddy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to metagame there since I'm dead, but
No, that's
No.
the type of thing that the group should be talking about, though, because it's the group hanging in the balance.
and I feel like they would, Victor would know that we have healing.
So it is going to. It is going to walk you up the stairs to the east here. Let's see. Let's take a break here and let me talk with Justin for a few moments.
All right.
Sorry, Justin.
What up? Sometimes me dragging you into this room messes with your audio, so let me know if everything's working.
I can hear you good. I hear you fine.
Alrighty. So, purely up to you how we move forward with different things here. You guys are effectively going to meet the big bad of this campaign in a moment here. Resurrection. I always try to have things on the table on certain levels. Resurrection is certainly something that is within his power to grant. It will be one of those things where, like, betraying somebody who has just resurrected you is a great way for them to basically, like, remove your life force in a very powerful way. So there will be, like, some aspect along that viable path, if you would like to pursue it. If you would like time to think about things and come back after like a longer break, that is also perfectly viable.
I mean, I do like the idea of sort of gets resurrected, but there's like cost, like he has to do something for this guy, or there's some.
Yeah, it's effectively one of those things you all are about to come before the spider and be presented with the situation where you'll be working for him effectively. So it's one of those questions about where both the group takes it and where you would like to go, because you don't have to get forced into either. And the group is certainly in a precarious situation as well anyways. So if you need time to think about that, let me know. If you already know that you're kind of like relatively good to proceed, we can take a short break here and then proceed in a few moments. I am inclined to get you right back into the game as soon as possible, so you're not just sitting by watching things go by. Like, I don't want the conversation to pass while you are dead. So it's effectively like either Vanton's joining the party, or like you're basically going to be revived and be a voice towards joining the Black Spider.
Right. Yeah, I think I'd like to see where it goes if Jason can get revived. And then you mean like he'll essentially try to convince Burke and Victor to
Yeah,
sort of start working for the spider.
the idea there being, again, like, once he revives you, your life force is somewhat attached to his magic. So the idea that if you guys tried to betray him, he could basically suck the life immediately out of Justin, sending you right back through the veil. So it's one of those things where if they go to betray you, or if they go to fight the Black Spider, it is not in your best interest. It is almost a guaranteed death for Justin at that point.
Okay.
And that would be why effectively, like, that path has to have you working towards convincing them that perhaps a different course of action is best. Sadly, in that, I forgot to move Gundren forward and actually join the fight. Not that I am a fan of rocking DMPCs, but it was one of those things where it would be an extra, like, rogue in the battle. So it also presents the situation. I just held him back, so you all don't have to have this conversation where I am an NPC on each side of the story, directly arguing, don't screw me over, you better join me or you're gonna die, you better not screw me over, join me or die. So it's kind of that situation where like, they're about to walk you into this situation and pretty quickly recognize that your life force will be tied to the spider living.
Right. I mean, is there, I guess the hope for Jason would be that he can find some way to break free of that part of it. I don't know how essentially closely he's monitored, so that like if he's revived, would the thing be aware of like what he's thinking? Just kind of know.
I think that would be the type of thing that you could learn through the future.
Right, yeah.
I don't think you all know enough about the situation at present to fully understand the ramifications of those things. Probably the closest bit of information that Justin would really have on that idea at present is that though the doppelgangers aren't great, at simply replacing somebody. Like, they have flaws to it. They also have their abilities to replace somebody. So you have some level of, at very least, his doppelgangers have some skill in reading thoughts or gathering that kind of information against your will.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd say revive Justin for now. I mean, I'm fine going with Vanton if he dies later on. But it would be tough to sort of just pull Vanton in right now. At
Well, things like that, I mean, that's part of why I realistically like the idea of almost Adventure League style play where somebody just shows up and you ignore the actual verisimilitude of that and you're like, yeah, I've got a player here who wants to join and play. Just like Jot was essentially going to get pulled into hell, and when Lion decided to join us, that was how I brought Dom in. Was Jot, instead of just getting pulled into hell with his master dying, it was an avenue to bring him in. Sometimes there's a
Right.
story element, but most of the time the most important thing is just to get a player into the game.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see where it goes with Justin.
All right, so that's effectively like kind of what I'm asking from you, is just to put a little bit of effort into trying to convince them to join that side. You don't necessarily have to have all of this knowledge right off of the bat. That's just kind of me giving you like a little bit of what I'm going to ask from you instead of simply asking it. But we'll kind of progress forward in the moment to present this situation. I have a feeling, stepping into the situation effectively, if they start to try to go against this idea, it's going to be a TPPK with this group. So it'll bring everybody in after that.
Yeah, yeah. I was
So-
that's why I kind of warned Ty about that last Eldritch Blast, and they're just gonna kill him. Like,
Oh yeah. That would have been a very dangerous and bad move to try to pull off. There's not many good things that can come from the moment a baddie starts to actually talk things through to come up. Usually, if anybody is going from a combat to a conversation, if you don't jump at it, people are dying. Let's still take a little bit of a break here, and I'll be back in a few moments here. And I'm going to move you back into the other chat.
sure. All right.
Or rather, do you have any other questions before I do?
Not really. I mean, character wise, obviously he's something that brings him back to life can't be all bad, is thinking, and I'll do my best to try and sort of play it straight, like in terms of really convincing them to try to join the spider. If you have like any notes or suggestions, if you just Discord sort of
Yeah, if there's anything I have to share like that, that's what I'll do. But in general, the idea is just to let you riff off of the idea that what's going to kind of transgress pretty quickly will clarify the vagary that I'm giving you now.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Then I'm good. Then I think.
All right, word. Yeah, I'm going to take a break then. We're still going to take a quick little break here. I'm not sure if either of you are back, but we'll be back in a few.
Mara jumped in and said they were going to take a break.
Okay. Should I have blasted that guy?
I think he had more hit points than we thought.
I think I could have, like, when he walked up to me, both of them, I think I could have burned.
We did 15. We did 15 points of damage to him. before Justin went down. That's why I took a swing at him, thinking I could finish him and still save Justin, but apparently not. So I don't know what a lieutenant of the spider has for hit points, but I bet you it's more than like 18,
Yeah.
which was the number in my head for bugbears. But now you're captured, right?
It doesn't sound like I'm bound or anything like that. So, that he will like, hit me or something. And I could cast Hellish Rebuke.
What class are you?
Warlock.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, I mean, for a dead guy, back.
I don't know. Victor, I think you made the right call on that because there were still 3 of them, and they get 2 attacks a turn. And if 2 of them come after you, they both would get sneak attack. So I don't think you could have taken out all 3 of them essentially on your own.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Or okay.
He's talking to you. He's not telling me I made the right call, swinging on that guy instead of saving him on the first turn. But
Well, I mean,
I was thinking I was going to take that guy out because he could attack me twice and I'd be dead.
I thought you were rolling for your death saves. Because I think if you would have rolled, it would have been a different story. Usually a little bit lucky than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I mean, in your defense, Larry, there's only a 5% chance that you're one and gives me 2 fails on a single turn.
I don't think I even clocked that. I just was thinking I had 3 shots. I had to do it by the second time. That guy was going to kill me if I didn't kill him first. So
Yeah, it's meant to
I didn't
pull
realize
people
it
out of the
was
meta of like death saves.
I didn't know about the 1 equals 2 failed saves.
Yeah, and
I'm not familiar. I've only died, the one time. So
yeah, and a nat 20, which is what happened with Justin back in the Bloodhawks. Then you come back with 1 hit point. So it's really bad if you roll a 1, but it's really good if you roll.
Well, I could have saved you and then got killed, and then I could have been the one dead. Wasn't going to go well for us anyway, as a group. But we found Screech. So, Justin, what are we going to do? Like, go on a big hunt to save you? Like, go talk to my aunt at the temple?
I guess we'll see.
Alrighty, I feel like everyone's back right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So the doppelganger after I get Victor too? Did I delete Victor?
I can see everything. I'm just not in there now.
I don't know what the fuck I did with your mini.
I don't know.
stand him next to Burke, and maybe I could kill that guy too.
Can I was gonna say before we left that room, if I could talk to my familiar telepathically.
You do indeed.
I would tell him to try and go back, get the others out of that room to come help us.
You can certainly try.
As like we're all on our way into this room, I would tell him to go do that and come back to me. I know we can't control or do anything with their characters, but I feel like that's what he would do, though. I don't know.
Alrighty. So, the doppelganger is going to pick up Justin's body and start to carry you into the temple to the northwest. As you all approach the actual doors, there's going to be massive stone doors, approximately 25 feet in height, depicting a single dwarf who, as the doors themselves open, is certainly who the doors portray, as there is a massive golden statue of a dwarf, approximately 40 feet high, and in front of it is a small female, dark skin with black dreadlocks, and as you all are ushered through the doors, she stands back to her feet, and she's going to turn and look to you all. What gifts have you brought me today? Just gonna look across you all. The doppelganger's going to respond to her. We found these looking through a pit to the east, coming from the reservoir. This one has been killed, the others surrendered. And who are you two that you come to my home?
uh, um, I think we just kind of got lost. And just going to the cameras
You
didn't
got
really know what to do.
lost and found a lost cavern that dwarves and gnomes have been looking for 500 years. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, come on. Damn it. Alright.
She kind of like beckons you to walk forward, and you seem inclined to walk closer to your friend.
Like right there, or...
Where are you coming from? How did you find this place?
I'm just, you know, stumbled upon it, like I said. Just exploring around, you know?
Don't lie to me, fool. You've stumbled on nothing. And again, you are inclined to treat her as a friend.
Oh, okay. Alright, I gotcha.
Like, you're under her control right now.
I gotcha. Oh, well, we were paid to find this place, you know. Oop. Hello? Okay, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I dropped there for a second. Yeah, I tell her kind of like, I basically just give up and like tell her everything, like I was hired to come here and everything, and you know.
She is going to kind of look around to you all, staring down at Burke for a few moments, or rather staring up at, she's quite short. She's going to take a moment before she's going to pull out a piece of paper. And over the next few moments, like wisps of green and purple will flow through her hands as you see Justin's. You ever choose an eye color for Justin?
Dark brown.
Justin's eyes flash open, and they seem to be almost like a glow to them. One seems to be green, and the other one seems to be a hue of blue, almost a purple. And Justin will stand. Rise, my little one. Who paid you all to come to this place?
The dwarf, Gundren.
I was paid by. I'm gonna read my handwriting. Charwin.
His name is unfamiliar to me. I know the dwarf. I have his brothers. How loyal are you to these dwarves?
I think we're loyal to each other first.
He's offered wealth if we can help him. As loyal as a man can be who's been paid.
Do you believe a dwarf's offer of wealth if you were to help him?
Seems to me he wants everything for himself.
It is a good part of why our relationships crumbled so long ago. Could not unify against the orcs who raided this place. The dwarves were too greedy, imagining it as an opportunity to get rid of both the humans and the gnomes. And you, looking at Burke, how loyal are you to these two? For they may be more my friends now than yours.
I'm quite loyal to the two of them. Happy to make any sort of arrangement with you that might be required.
If you are being honest, make a persuasion roll. If you are being dishonest, roll a deception.
Damn.
Excellent. I've found myself at a stalemate in this place. There's undead that seems to be surrounding the Forge of Spells. And she looks across to the single bugbear who looks kind of fucked up at present. Many of my goblinoid friends are simply throwing fodder at a problem, incapable of solutions. Have you all any interest in finding riches and treasure beyond your imagining?
I imagine we do.
Indeed.
Doesn't hurt.
Perhaps you can forget about these dwarves that you serve and find a bit of resolution in greater things. Your people once operated the Forge of Spells. Mine created wonderful things to be enervated with your magic. And while the dwarves did much to fashion the weapons, I believe they are the easiest to replace in the equation. Though, there's still word that Citadel Adbar has dwarves to spare. You all are inclined. Relia can show you through towards the Forge of Spells to the east. would be best to avoid the foundry. There is powerful undead.
I see no reason we can't work together. And I must say thank you for saving my life. I assume Justin would know he's been brought back from the dead at this point.
Make a
Or maybe just
feel like Arcana check.
I was gonna ask the same.
You could roll an Arcana as well. I don't think Victor would gather what she did. You would recognize that she cast some sort of resurrection. Justin, you would have felt the presence of a darkness surrounding you for like untold eons, where you just felt completely lost in this land of darkness. And then out of nowhere, see just a single like pinprick of light. And within a few moments, the light almost like flashes into a long string. And as you follow that back further and further, more strings kind of join this little piece before you notice that you actually have a body inside of the glow from these strings. And within a could have been years, could have been moments, you notice that these strings enter your body at your heart. And then as you come to consciousness in this temple, you would see this creature standing above you who has a physical body, but has much more presence in that same like wispy plane that you just got like slammed back into the physical plane from. And you kind of start to gather that your spirit was wandering on the ethereal plane, having died. And you see that your strings, like your actual spirits, is tied into her power right now. And she seems to emanate these strings from like all across her body. But her physical body is much smaller than the body that she has on the ethereal plane itself.
okay. And sorry, go ahead.
You can say what you're thinking.
He was just going to ask her, what should we call her?
For now, my minions know me as the Black Spider. You can find that name sufficient. If I find you loyal, perhaps we will learn more about each other with time. My lieutenants are powerful, but it doesn't mean that I don't have a need for your skills. And if I understand the problems that you have caused with my goblin minions, I certainly believe that we have a lot of growing together that can lead to wonderful things.
The skills are at your command.
All right, boss. I think we need a little rest before we're going to be any good. Digging into some new enemies, though.
There is little in this place that is safe for resting. If you require it at present, you can certainly sleep here.
Thank
It's
you.
probably actually too early to sleep, though. You're still probably within 24 hours.
Mechanically, was I brought back with 1 hit point?
Yeah, effectively, yes.
And can I look at him from a medicine standpoint? Like, is Justin himself?
Do a medicine check. Justin seems to effectively be resurrected. You've heard about the spell itself. By level 4, you probably would have begun studying the ways of casting it. So, in essence, you would be relatively familiar with, like, Revivify. And you would know enough that she did not cast Revivify.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Victor, you wanted to speak using your imp. In particular, she pulled you far enough away that you can't actually speak with your imp. My question to you is, what are you going to attempt to do about this? Because I believe you can speak over 100 feet.
Yes. Essentially what I was saying, like as he was taking us away to this chamber, I would have said to him, to the imp telepathically to go get them and then come back. Which I would have lost. I would have lost a link with him as soon as we got in this room, pretty much.
That was probably poorly played on my part. Let's see. So after a few moments of the initial conversation, effectively after what we just did there, the doppelganger is going to approach the spider and say, "This one sent his ally to retrieve others there in the barracks." And then she's going to look to you and respond with, "It might be best for your well-being to call off your friends."
Yeah, I'll go get him. Go tell him to stand down.
You don't actually have to go that far away. You can stay here.
Okay. I guess I would try and feel for that telepathic link to the my familiar, and as soon as I get that link, I would just tell him to like hold back and like stand down.
Because he does exactly what you want him to do, right? When you tell him something.
Yeah.
Yeah, was my bad. I should have played that a little closer. Alrighty. So, yeah, at that point, if you all want to take a rest, that is certainly viable. Let me know what you all have in mind at present.
So we can take a short rest, not a long rest, right?
Yeah, it's still too early to take an actual long rest.
I feel like Justin's definitely still not feeling his best. Not really sure. He's still trying to wrap his head around what happened to him.
So we'll take a short rest and see what we can come up with for hit points between us.
Yep.
Alright.
Yep. I gotta roll. Oh wait, no. Plus whatever. Oh, +1. 8.
Should be 1 die, 10 plus 1.
Literally 1 away.
Jason, you've got 1 hit point.
No, so I used my 4 hit dice, recovered 15, so I'm at 16 now.
Well, I got some spell slots. I'm gonna cure wounds.
I would probably
Seems like
save
the right
that,
thing to
in, save that in case like someone goes down again.
Are you all effectively through your rest at that point?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
You'll find perhaps the most dangerous foe is in the foundry. If you head along the northern passage, past the Drow Sea, you will find yourselves most quickly going to the Forge of Spells. There is undead in the area, but if you play your cards safely and correctly, you should be able to find a solution for yourselves and live to speak of it.
And what should we do when we find the Forge of Spells? Would you have us do?
If you can secure the location, you can return to me, and we will begin the process of bringing it back into order. I have a human mage who, at present, is willing to begin much of the enchantment process and start to bring this land back to life.
Sounds great.
So out this doorway here.
Yeah, she'll point to the east there and basically describe it as if you follow that directly east, that is the best way. Do not go through the like southern corridor.
I'd like to go get my familiar right quick.
You can pretty much call him back to you.
Okay, yeah. I'll call him back.
I think you can blink it out of existence regardless of how far it is, and basically blink it back in. Like it goes to a pocket universe.
Yeah, I didn't know how far I could pocket him.
Well, I think that's any distance. You just lose your vision after 100 feet and the ability to speak with it.
Gotcha. Also, really quick, I was looking at the wherever the actual thing for the imps. Looks like it's just like the shape changer is actually just part of what an imp can do. I didn't know if it was like your thing that you wanted it to be like I can only change its form like when it's my familiar. Like I can only change its form when I resummon it. Yeah, but it's whatever you want me to do with that.
Yep, that sounds right. My bad.
Alrighty.
Just another reason why the Pact of the Chain is so much better than any other familiar.
All right. Let's do this.
So I don't know. Jessen might hang back a moment and sort of turn back towards the spider and kind of almost like kind of wait expectantly for a moment to see if there's anything else she wants to, I guess, tell him before he joins Burke and Victor.
She seems occupied by this statue. When you kind of like sit down and as you all are resting, she would have already gone back to it. And even in the process of kind of instructing you all where to go from there, she's not. She's like aloof in how distracted she seems. I feel like there's a certain level of... Do an insight check for me. Um... Yeah, what are you looking for, like you as the person, as you stay back?
I mean, I guess just since like she brought him back, I guess he would be wondering if there was like she had some sort of I don't know, special task for him, or if just essentially he just wants him to go with the others and sort of do what she'd said. She's just like hesitant to know if there's anything in particular she wants him to do.
I guess as you kind of linger and she notices your presence, but still while the others are around and certainly within earshot, she will say, "Be weary of your friends. Your life is already attached to me. Go and save this place, and your humans will be better for it."
Justin will give a nod to indicate he understands, and then he'll move to join the others. She doesn't seem so bad, does she? Sort of once they're out of earshot. Say that to
Yeah,
Victor
so
and
that
Bert.
like immediate hallway is like a short like 20 or so feet before you see a oh man.
Downward stair and a
Yeah,
door.
I'm trying to describe the door. It's like forged with gold into the door itself, like into the stone. Um it's an E word that I just can't think of right now. And then like the stairs actually drop down and it jinks to the north, and you can pretty quickly gather that it leads back to that same room where you all encountered the doppelganger in the first bit of that fight.
Is the door to the north really elegant?
Yeah, it's definitely like a really fancy door. Elegant is not the word I was looking for, though. It's like a way of describing like the actual like metal inlaid into the stone.
Oh, it's embossed.
Yes, embossed is definitely the word. I don't think any of you know Dwarvish.
I do not.
No, we Tom did make it today. Right, Tom could have helped us with that.
But everybody, let me have the three of you make history checks.
I failed history.
I did all right, I guess.
As you all leave this area, Victor, you would recognize Jackson would be relatively familiar just from the actual gold of this like 40-foot statue. But the temple is clearly dedicated to the dwarven god of greed, Dumathoin.
Yep. What was it again?
Dumathoin. And it's basically like a dwarvish god of gold and effectively greed. So the bugbear and the doppelganger follow you out of the room, and they basically just point like directly east across the actual way there.
Not through this door, down the stairs.
Yeah, down the stairs.
Thanks, guys.
But they actually point you like to that way that's like directly east, to basically keep you from going south.
All right, I'm gonna cast light on my shield now.
I'm gonna light up a torch as well.
So we got to scramble down this hill. I have a rope. You throw a rope down.
If there's something to secure it to, or
Yeah, the goal is not to get any more hurt for no reason, right?
The doppelganger will grab the top part of the rope and lower you all in.
Thanks, Aurelia. You need to check to scramble up on the other side.
Yeah, just a strength check. You're able to make it up without a problem.
I
And you
drop
can
down a
certainly-
rope for the guys.
Yep, lower the rope and everybody else can just make it up.
Okay. Would I still be under that spell that she put me under?
You are no longer charmed.
Make sure. Very upset right now.
Aurelia, do we need to check for traps here, or have you been this way before?
She like looks back at the bugbear. All of the goblins that we've sent that way have died. I think it's safe to say it's dangerous. Though the dwarves didn't seem keen on trapping behind them. It's more everyone who dies down here comes back to life.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you.
some form, I suppose. Should the undead being present.
All right, well, I want to be a little more careful as we move on to this section here. Keeping my eyes peeled, see if there's anything threatening us.
So this is a pretty like rough actual tunnel. It doesn't really have too much like finishing work done to it. There is like a saltiness to the air though, where it kind of clues you in that you're getting closer and closer to the drow sea that she had mentioned. And there's almost a constant breeze coming off of it, but it's still in almost those heartbeats of the slamming ocean.
Drow sea sounds threatening. We're going to work our way up to the corner and see what we see.
I think you all got the first idea that most of the underground of the world is like caves and tunnels, and that part of what the Underdark is a little bit more of the Drow civilization that has like settled these areas. Um, so most of being underground is usually like being in Drow territory.
Uh-oh.
So you like come across like a little bit of a cliff and actually see over into this area where you actually see the water splashing up. Probably like another like 20 or 30 feet down to the actual water's edge. But you see the actual like every 2 minutes or so, the larger like blasts are this water like being pushed in and then sucked out into the vaster like expanse to the northeast of you.
So is this where the sound is coming from?
Yep, this is indeed where the actual sound is coming from. This is the namesake of Wave Echo Cavern.
I guess we found the ocean under the mountains.
Nice. Very nice. Are we gonna have a conversation of what just happened back there, or are we just kind of gonna keep rolling on, or?
As I see it, we made a deal with the gnome, and now we're working for her.
Okay. I mean,
I don't see she's any worse than Gundren.
She might be better. Gunnar hasn't given us shit.
all right. Just curious. Everyone's, kind of cool about this, so.
You have concerns?
Uh, yeah, I mean, why do you assume that? Well, the fact that she's got doppelgangers and stuff rolling as her tenants, killing
Yeah,
people.
shame to work for somebody who's evil.
Gundren
Shut
was
up.
willing to sacrifice his brothers just to lay his hands on some gold.
I don't know if it's all about the gold, right?
But you did spare our lives.
Yeah,
I think
we're
that's
both
just
alive because we're both alive because of her at this point.
that's just because he wants to use us.
What do you think Gundren was doing? Wouldn't call him a friend exactly.
Well, I don't work for Gundren, but whatever. Anywho, yeah, whatever. Let's just keep going on, I guess.
Roll an intelligence for me, Victor. You can also remember Sharwin had no inclination towards service to Gundren either, though. Your service to Sharwin, on whatever level it remains, is under the idea that Dagalt Neverember could use this place to further the needs of humankind. But
Do they
those
know
are
about that?
effectively the same. What's that?
They know that? Do Justin and Burke know that?
So that's kind of the difference between like where the A team and the B team like kind of falls, is that all of them were privately hired to work for Gundren, and the others are essentially mercenaries who were brought here under the guise that they were working for Dagalt, and recognized that hunting Sharwin was not working for Dagalt, it was actually working against him. And that's part of why Sharwin is who you're almost working for at that point, in that she's actually the person working for the person you thought that you came here working for. So there's a whole massive mindfuckery of what's going on down here, but it is effectively dwarves, gnomes, and humans all rediscovering this same place where the three of them once worked together 500 years ago. So I don't think Victor really has a specific inclination towards serving the dwarves. But
Right, yeah.
This is also probably the first time that you all would recognize a gnome in the mix of what's going on in this place. But I think there have been hints at time that the gnomes were the third party of who used to run this place.
Yeah, and she sounded like she was here running it back in the day. She talked about the dwarves failing her, not just her people.
From what Gundren said, it doesn't sound like the dwarves want to share this place again. If the gnomes are willing to work with the humans, seems less greedy than Gundren. I see no problems with aiding her in her request.
It doesn't really seem like we have much of a choice either. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to work off of that right now.
Alright.
We'll be loyal to us first and foremost when there's the next opportunity. You want to keep going
Right
down
on.
this edge, or do you guys want to talk more about our feelings?
We can
I think
continue on.
Yeah, I think we've emoted enough for now.
I'd like to talk more about my feelings. I feel like I have no choice in the matter.
Do we get to hear him?
Oh shit, yeah.
It's a choice between telepathy.
Yeah, that one would be audible
yeah.
because he is
Yeah.
trying to fuck with Victor. And the last one, when Victor was saying she's got like doppelgangers working for her, he definitely would have said out loud it'd be a shame to work for somebody evil.
Yeah, I told him to shut up after that.
Mark, are you comfortable leading the way, or do you want me to scout ahead?
Yeah, you feeling up to it? I think you have sharper eyes than I do. But
All right, hold here a moment. I'll try to stealthily kind of move forward, take the lead here. We continue on the down this sort of tunnel.
So moving forward a little bit further, you actually see a clean break in the tunnel to the south of you. And you see that kind of goes off to the southwest. And then the path around the edge of the cliff continues on to the east.
Leaf, you warned us about not taking the southern route, right?
yep, east, all the way east.
All right. So as I get near to the sort of where the tunnel breaks off to the south, I'm going to pause and sort of listen, see if I can hear any activity coming from down that way.
Do a perception. You don't really hear anything. You do see that this tunnel seems to be, let's see, what is it, like 6 feet tall, about 5 feet wide, almost perfectly square, except for that it is a little bit taller. And then into the actual darkness of the dim light, you see the tunnel turns a little bit, and it seems to actually get much shorter and be about like 3 feet high. not much further beyond like the actual like distance that the light's going, but that it basically like turns almost directly west a little bit beyond your light, and then it seems to actually drop into like a half height tunnel. Oh, my bad. It should be like 6 feet high and 10 feet wide. I described that poorly.
Okay. And say we continue on east for now.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do the walls seem like sort of preternaturally smooth?
All three of you can actually roll the intelligence on this one.
Oh, jeez.
Crushing. It doesn't really dawn on Justin or Burke at first, but after walking past like third in the rank, Victor, you can recognize that this is. They described the initial room that you had battled in as like the waterway, and that it leads through the foundry, and that this is probably like a like spillway out of the foundry itself. Yeah, it's such a fun room, but honestly, with 3 people, that would have been a hellhole if you guys had walked into it. And I definitely feel like it's the type of thing that that she would have warned you all about.
Yeah, so Justin has no desire to go into the foundry. You around past the edge.
But it also doesn't seem like there's any sort of activity happening in there. And after a little bit beyond it, you start to see that this corridor seems to open up to the southeast and start to actually go a little more properly east and away from the water.
You around.
So as you all kind of continue beyond that initial area, the corridor starts to almost turn a little bit to the south, and you start to see stairs that lead down. When you start to approach the corner itself, you start to see the cavern actually like opens up, and you start to see actual structures inside that look very similar to like human housing.
This may have been where the humans of Phandalin lived back in the day. We move cautiously from here on out.
You want me to move you like kind of around the corner and see him to get him to look in there real quick before we go down? Go in.
Sure, if you want to send him in to scout.
I wasn't gonna send him too far. Like you can see farther than like the torches and stuff light up. So I wanted to use them real quick to see if we can see anything in the darkness.
Looks like there's 2 buildings down there. I think one of them's falling over. Humans are pretty much shit builders, I can tell that much.
Alright. I relay that to everybody else.
Let's take a look then. Start trying to stealthily move up these stairs. Get a better look at the structures.
So, moving down the stairs, you see there's a building like directly south of you that seems to have collapsed in on the northern side. It doesn't reach like the full height of the actual cavern that you're inside of. As you start to approach into the cavern, the light doesn't actually hit the ceiling, So you kind of gather pretty quickly that it's 20 plus feet tall in here as it starts to open up. Perhaps as if the ceiling kind of continued on, like from the top of the stairs into this like opening cavern. But you do see basically there's like walls built from the actual cavern are like constructed as if like human houses have been carved out of the actual wall, like the original stone. Um, and one of these is like what you initially come across, and parts of it have like collapsed in on itself. But otherwise, the cavern seems to open up a little bit to the west of you. You do see a bit more of a wall to the south of you, and signs of the door to the smaller, like collapsed place to the immediate south of you.
I'm gonna move in towards the towards this first building here. If the forge is used by human mages, it may be human area.
You can roll an intelligence check. She had mentioned that the humans used it. Don't really think that you could have gone any further east, so you can be pretty confident that this is likely what you were looking for. And that she did warn you that there were still plenty of dangers here as well.
All right. Okay. Check out this closer building first.
You want to go in? All right. We're going in. Do you have any sense of how old these buildings are? Are they going to collapse? Or? It's been a long time since people lived in Wave Echo Cave, humans, right?
So you could do a history, intelligence, or
Insight?
you could roll an insight if you want to. That's going to give you an interesting perspective.
That's the perspective that I have.
So the room's already pretty much collapsed. So you're kind of like looking to climb around in rubble. So it's hard to say whether something's going to collapse more versus it's already dangerous because it's clearly already at risk.
And it might be a place where like critters live.
But like the actual doorway seems relatively intact. At this point, it's another stone door. It seems to have like a steel, not like a handle, but like a, I don't know, almost like a point to pull from. I can't even think of what it would call. I guess a handle is probably better than saying doorknob, but a handle.
Well, I'm going to pull the door handle, pull the door open.
So
See
as
what
you
we see.
first pull on it, it seems to not want to budge. But you can do a strength check.
We've got a crowbar if you need it.
I've got an arm like a crowbar.
It takes a little bit of effort, but after a moment, you're able to kind of like pull it open and do it with a little bit of finesse so it's not just like tearing the door off. And you see much more of this wall has actually collapsed inside of this room, that it's not intact so much as it's not completely destroyed. But inside you see a bunch of rubble. There's a bunch of little knickknacks, signs of what once might have been like a small armory. But it seems to actually have like a bunch of different things inside of here. Many of them were probably like shelved at one point on that outer wall, and at some point that wall collapsing in kind of scattered them across the floor. And then there's parts of the actual wall that are like barred up against the door to the north there as well.
What do you
I'd like
think,
to
Justin?
like to take a look at some of these knickknacks, more out of curiosity than anything else.
Roll a do an investigation and a insight check. So there's not really any like pattern to the things that are in this place. They seem to be a lot of things like kind of connecting those dots of like there's a bunch of different like gnomish inventions that are crazy little like lenses. There's things like hoods, things like short swords. There's a whole big mix of different things that seem to have been put in here. And after taking a few minutes to kind of go over everything, you can start to gather between the information that you were given and the likeliness that this is the Forge of Spells, that perhaps this is where they stored things that were ready and finished and waiting to be enchanted.
Okay, so I'll head back out. I'll sort of relay to the others that my suspicions and suggest that the forge itself is close. So maybe that other building we spotted.
You don't want to finish checking out this one, or you just want to keep moving forward?
Oh, was that another door to the south?
Yeah.
Yep, there's a
Looks like
southern door.
I'll sort of move up to it and sort of listen, see if I hear anything coming from the other side, as usual.
Do a perception. You hear what sounds like a conversation on the other side of this door. What languages does Justin speak? You do not speak this language.
Does it sound like any sort of language I've heard before?
I don't see any reason for you to have heard this, but roll an Arcana check for me. In the time while you were dead, there were many experiences that you had in the darkness. And among the things that you heard were whispers. And this conversation reminds you of those whispers. Not corporeal things, something from beyond, something from that ethereal plane. Something beyond this place that does not belong.
Okay, so I'm gonna sort of back away and I'll turn to the others and tell them that there's something sounded like a conversation in a language that I don't know why, but it strikes me as otherworldly. Whoever's having it is not from this world, from this plane. spirits, perhaps, or I don't know. I would suggest if we are going to proceed, we do so cautiously.
Jackson, you think there's undead beyond that door?
Certainly possible. I mean, it doesn't sound like skeletons or anything like that, but
And she sent us here to clear out some undead, right?
Yes, secure the area. So
This door seems like a pretty tight scope, actually. Somewhat more controllable. Should we go through it?
I'm gonna put my torch on the ground and sort of I'll unstring my bow as or ready my bow as Burke moves towards the southern door.
You guys ready for me to pull this door?
yeah, I'm gonna prepare to blast. I'll tell whatever. Hey, yeah, I'll tell him to go invisible again. Let's say like I can mark something on him that'll ease him. Don't have to keep taking it away and bringing it back.
I just move him to the DM layer.
Okay.
But that's perfectly fine if you just want to mark him as invisible.
I don't know how you would. There you go.
If you just click him, you can always just add a counter, basically.
Yeah, I just added like a little thing over his character. Little token. All right.
All right, I'm gonna pull the door open.
This door doesn't seem to be all that barred after you take the time to like clear away the things that have fallen against it. The door itself opens without much difficulty. Inside, you immediately see a couple of workbenches. They seem to be scattered with different knickknacks, items, and tools of very similar quality, all of which is lit up in a green glow. And pretty quickly you can train your eye to this central flame, almost like a lighter in the center of the room that seems to just be emanating from the floor in a green font of fire. Green flame.
Found the forge.
Burke, do you hear anything?
I hear my
Noises?
chainmail making noise. Let me listen.
There's
to see if I
definitely
hear
like
anything.
chanting and conversation in the room.
Can I get a sense of where they are in the room from where I am and how I'm hearing it?
At present, like from what you're like from the perspective you're in, you can't see it, but it just sounds like something is to the west in that room, basically, out of view.
And I'm gonna like hand signal that back to the guys. They're around the corner.
Okay.
Can I tell how many voices I'm hearing?
Let me have you roll a perception check, and let me have Victor roll a perception check. You hear one creature that seems to be, like, speaking to itself. Victor, you understand this language. You speak this language.
Nice.
Make an intelligence check.
Fuck.
You do not understand that you understand a language that they don't understand. You just kind of gather that before they didn't hear it all that well, and we're just kind of making out the details. But you hear a creature effectively kind of speaking to itself. been missing. I will protect this. Master will be happy when he comes back. I cannot fail the master. I must protect this. I must protect the forge. Protect the forge. So much undead. I must protect them all. Master will come back soon. Yes, Master. Where's the master? Master will be back. And it just kind of like is blathering on and on about its master, about protecting the forge of spells, and waiting.
Can I tell what language it is? I mean, is it infernal?
That's what I mean. Like, effectively, you don't understand what's happening, other than that you understand what the creature is speaking.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I'm just like, yeah, just picking it up. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, like to you, you're hearing essentially common, and it's not clicking in your head that you're
That is a
hearing a
different
language that is extremely obscure.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
You got any advice for me before I charge through this door?
Well,
that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't recognize it to where he like is intent to say anything.
right. Yeah. I rolled too stupid to let you know what's going on.
All right, so I think we should get a look. We have to get a look around the corner to see what's going on in there.
Yeah, so yeah, it's still just a guy in there, whatever it's in there.
Justin, can you stealth up and look around the corner? I'm going to make a bunch of noise. This is all hand signals. Doing this all with hand signals.
Yes, well, I will stealthily try and move up through the doorway.
You guys don't even notice that Justin started to move, and you're looking at him.
He's very stealthy.
I was gonna send the imp in there to go look quick, but
you can send him in still.
Yeah, do it.
I was gonna tell you to kind of peek around the corner just to get a glimpse of what it is, and then come back to me.
Justin peeks in, and he doesn't see anything at present.
Oh, I mean, like to peek around.
Fucking you! God damn it! Yep, I got you. I mean, it's a hilarious name, but it's hilarious because of all the bullshit of having the name.
We can still change it if it gets you know.
I thought we changed it to you got before, but it's you got X, Y, or Z thing. Like I said earlier, so I thought you had changed it. All right, so are you going to tell us that you're sending your invisible imp friend?
Yes.
Could you get a hand signal that?
Yeah, I put I use my fingers to put horns on my head in a way, and then I
wings, flapping wings. Yeah,
little
I got it.
Wings. Yeah, so I'm gonna send them right there and like kind of peek around that corner. But that corner there to the northwest.
So as he moves into the room, he sees a... Are you sending him in, or are you perceiving through him?
I am perceiving through him. Since what happened last time, I'd like to have a little more control over what's going on.
All right, so as you spin around the corner, you see a creature floating in the air that has a massive central eye and a mouth that goes side to side in the entire radius of this creature. And it has 4 different tentacles that all have little eyeballs. And within a moment of you peeking around the corner, 3 of the eyeballs turn and focus in on you before the entire creature turns around. You can't be here. You shouldn't be here. Master wouldn't like it if you're here. You need to go.
I want to pocket him immediately. As soon as that happens, I pocket him.
Thank you.
Is this all?
All of that would have been in a language that, again, only Victor recognizes.
Yeah, and I still don't see anything, so
I would say I would, Justin's turn around. I would gesture to Burke that he got spotted.
I think it would be viable, though, that if you start to share what it just told you, that they would be able to share that they heard none of that. And it would be about that point where you could recognize that you were listening to deep speech.
Ah, okay. I was going to use either that or interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we heard some groans and shrieks. We didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
almost like house music. It's like super bassy, like I don't know, just like long syllables, very like deep in how it like vibrates through your body. It's almost like unsettling to your inner ear, giving you like feelings of like vertigo almost.
Yeah, I would explain what I saw in that corner. The tentacles of the eyes and yeah, that.
So Burke's gonna hand signal at Victor. Like, do you wanna talk to this thing? Like, making this squeezing my hand. Do you want to talk to them, and then I just hold up my warhammer for this.
What? I don't think Victor's ever spoken deep speech. I'm gonna try and talk to him. See what I can get out of him. If that's okay with everybody else for me giving it a shot with this.
So yeah, can always hit it with a hammer later. Fine.
So yeah, he's back over here now, whatever he's gone. I'm going to step right here past Jason and walk out in front of this thing. Or like excuse me, like here and talk to him.
I'm gonna back you up, and just get on the other side of the wall.
As you kind of like walk around and make your way there, it's going to turn to you and start to speak to you. You shouldn't be here. Master would be unpleased. It's not. No, you need to go. Master said keep everybody away. You need to go. Please don't. You gotta. And
I'm
it's
gonna
just like rambling.
I would chime in and say, the master sent me to get you.
Master sent you? Roll a persuasion for me.
Hey man. Fucking hell. Are you serious? Alright.
You don't look like Master sent you. You should go. And it's gonna move towards the door and open the doors.
That's alright, no, we'll just leave. We'll just leave. And then I kind of gestured to everyone to kind of back out.
Burke wants to smash that thing.
I don't know what it's opening the doors to. So
Help.
this is outside.
Please leave. Master said go. You need. I'm supposed to protect the forge. You have to go. Please leave.
I'm gonna try again. It's like, well, Master sent us to help you protect the forge.
You can make a deception at disadvantage.
Okay. That's not gonna do it. Alright.
Master will be back soon. You shouldn't be here. You need to go.
Does it look like this thing could actually hurt us or attack us or anything like that? Or what is this thing?
Make an Arcana check.
I'm just rolling straight shit.
It looks harmless. Maybe some
Nice.
big teeth. It's got a big tongue. Probably couldn't hurt you in the least bit.
Okay. So I'm gonna look to the other guys and just kind of. But what do you guys want to do?
So is this creature visible to us now, or still only to Victor?
Yeah, effectively it was just in the corner before. I was rolling for random, like where it was moving to, and you walked into the room while it was around that corner.
Okay. I'll just sort of shrug at Victor. I didn't understand any of the conversations. I don't really understand.
I'll relay it, what we were talking about. I imagine it was really weird, yeah. Whole situation.
Who's its master?
I'll ask him who's his master.
Does it work for the spider?
Doesn't respond to you. It doesn't really acknowledge you at that point. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
Your body gets an eerie, terrible feeling as your muscles seem to stiffen for a second and you recover for a moment. But this creature has a power over you that's not comforting.
I'm gonna ask it to stop and tell him that we're here to help you. I'm gonna try one more time. If I can.
You can do another deception check at disadvantage. But bad things are going to happen if you fail this.
I can't really stop now, right? So I said it.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
pressure.
that's effectively me telling you if you want to continue to push it. Like, I gave you the 2. The 3rd was telling you that it was ignoring you. And the 4th is me saying bad things are going to happen if you push it. So you still have the choice. You don't have to. But I want you to think about it before you decide whether to do this or not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, after that, like it trying to like do something to me, I'm not gonna try and wait it anymore or lie to it. I'm gonna look at the other guys and say, I don't think we can get anything else out of this thing. Either kind of we leave or kill it, or
Did it say it was protecting from the undead?
yeah,
Victor?
for its master, yeah.
Roll a intelligence for me, Victor.
Fucking hell, man.
I gotta take a quick little break here, but I'll be back in a second.
I don't know what's going on with these rolls, man. All over the place.
Burke wants to smash that thing with his hammer. But he just wants you to tell him to do that, Victor.
I'm thinking that we can try and slide out this door, and when we get close to it, we blast it. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Well, I'm going to follow your lead, man. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. Good soldier.
I was trying to get some intel out of this thing, but that's not happening. These fucking rolls were horrendous.
Yeah, no, for us, it just was like a lot of...
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So I think we're just looking a little confused.
Yeah, Jason's wondering if the bugbear's bumps on the heads affected him more than he realized.
Is everybody essentially here right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. What thoughts have you all?
We're waiting on Victor to make the call, since Victor can communicate with it.
I was like directing it towards like like a group decision if we're gonna just like leave. I mean, the forge is right here, right? Like it's just the pit right here, in between me and the whatever this thing is.
You all have gotten minor descriptions of this thing, that it's a font of magic in this place. I don't think anybody has described it as an actual flame. But looking around the actual like workstation all around this area, the description that you got from the spider, it's pretty safe to assume that this is the Forge of Spells.
Then we gotta either get this thing out of here or make it our friend, or I think it would be safe to say just go ahead and get it out of here.
Well, if it was put here to protect against the undead, maybe we
Just like leave it.
at least maybe for now, maybe explore a little bit of the rest of the cavern.
Go find some undead. That's what we were sent here to get, right? That thing's not undead, is it?
No.
The
I have
Arcana
no
check
idea.
was to see if he actually knew what it was.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'll just say I don't know.
Can I tell if it's undead? Seems like the kind of thing a cleric would be able to tell.
Yeah, you could do an Arcana or a religion to gather some undead thoughts about it. As far as you know, undead doesn't really change things, and you have no clue about this thing's physiology.
All right. Well, if it's here to protect against undead, then we should go find some undead that maybe we can ally ourselves with it by finding some undead to fight.
Man, let's just go ahead and go.
So you're
And
gonna wave us out.
I was gonna go this way, through the double doors here, by this thing, but we can go that way too. Alright.
Seems like the more respectful direction to go.
It's gonna move up behind you and shut the doors as it says, Master wouldn't be happy.
I'm gonna tell him have a good one in deep speech. I unpocket Ugati.
That was strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So y'all move around this edge a little bit more. You see that the front side of this building is more or less intact. There's certainly like actual outside damage to much of like the buildings off this wall. There seems to be a corridor off to the west of where you are, as well as the cavern itself seems to extend further. And after a few moments, when you guys kind of pop out in that side, you hear as the double doors to the Forge of Spells close, and the green light ceases to come out of those doors.
Well, we identified the forge. That's a big step.
That's weird. It's like literally right next to the entrance of this place. Alright.
I think we might have been in the back door a little bit, huh?
What do you guys mean by the entrance?
The double doors to the Forge of Spells.
You all know by now that like when this place was occupied, it was not the type of place that like was under threat. It was a rather harmonious like civilization of the three races working together.
But this part that we're in was built by human hands. We can recognize that.
I don't think anybody has like stonework of any sorts, but you could do like a history check. It was built for humans, not necessarily by humans. The humans that you all would understand ever lived here were essentially like powerful magicians and enchanters who like essentially the humans in this area existed because of the few wizards who worked with the dwarves. It wasn't like an equal civilization that there were a bunch of humans, dwarves, and gnomes living here. There were dwarves who lived here, a bunch of gnomes, and a few humans. Phandalin was the human settlement that kind of popped up in the trade of all of the things that came out of this place. Because the wizards were essentially getting rich as fuck because they were the people that made it all magical, whereas the dwarves were bringing up quality metals and making good items, but it was the humans that were making them magical. So you have a corridor to the west of you, and then the cavern continues on beyond this actual room around the forge.
I'd like to see what's along this corridor here. I'm gonna try to stealthily up towards it.
See, as it goes north, turns west, seems to continue on to the west. Roll a perception check for me. There seems to be some sort of green light inside of that room, or beyond the tunnel. It's quite dim in the actual hall that you're in, but there seems to be some sort of light coming from that area.
Okay, does it seem a similar green light to what was in the forge? Is there any way to tell?
Roll a insight check. Green fire often is the sign of magic. It's hard to really tell having the two sources kind of far apart from themselves, and then that you're working with like like wisps of the light rather than like looking at the one after the other.
Burke has an insight. Justin, that direction seems to be where they told us not to go. Seems to head back towards the forge, the foundry.
Okay. Back away from that sort of. See what's south. Anyone in the cavern?
To be fair, they told us not to go south either, so sorry to be a know-it-all.
So.
I don't think I specifically said don't go south. They were warning you about a southern passageway that the doppelganger like pointed you all away from.
Yeah. I was just kind of teasing. I think they meant the center of that cavern where we
I think
battled with the
I mean,
doppelganger.
yeah, essentially meant like stay away from the foundry, which was south of us at the time.
Yeah,
And
without
the
like
door.
without like a general overview of the map here, they were somewhat warning you effectively against like the triangle in the center of this map that you all have not yet explored. That was pretty much what I was getting at, warning you with.
And that's where they had the door barricaded against that sort of triangle too. So south seems like a good direction to go if we can.
Yeah, I don't think they ever treated with the fact that you guys had been inside of the barracks to tell you that that was another path to the foundry.
Yeah, I kind of felt like we glossed over that sort of on purpose too, because they probably work for the spider, right? Everybody works for the spider.
Well, that was part of where I was saying like I forgot about treating with you, because the doppelganger would have effectively been reading Victor's mind And I should have actually had him kind of tell Victor to recall it as soon as he failed that charm person. That would have played a little more true to form there. And then possibly come up to warn you guys against that, like what was beyond that door.
I assume that all those red brands worked for her too, right? Everybody we've been killing was working for her, probably.
She referenced a wizard who works for her, but you guys will never really know because you walked away from that.
Oh, we're not going to get to talk to her again?
I mean, you might, but no, I mean the human wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just good small talk while we're searching around, trying to figure out what just happened. I've got a new perspective now that I've been dead today.
You were unconscious. I was dead.
That's part of what I mean. That doppelganger having like basically known that you guys were coming. If they actually used their surprise, holy fucking shit, they would have insta-killed one of you on like the first attack. If it had hit, basically. It's a fucking truck. So, recognizing the foundry to the west of you all, you start to look back to the south, and effectively like the doors of the Forge of Spells. What thoughts have you got?
So I'm going to sort of give a little bit of a wide berth to those doors for now. I want to kind of see what's down beyond, further south.
So you see like the cavern kind of opens up. There's another set of stairs that seems to open up to the south. There's an actual like I don't know, kind of like cliff face type of thing. And it all kind of like follows vaguely around the south side of this building, all back into like a rough cave. But it's still like a more finished area in this general vicinity.
Get down those stairs.
Yeah, what can we see of the lower cavern floor? Curious if there's anything on the south side of the building to the east.
The south side of the building seems to just be a little bit of space before like the floor actually like drops out down that little cliff face. There's not really much to explore in that direction. Beyond the actual stairs, there seems to be the first signs of another building to the south. There seems to be a massive column of stone. All of it's like just beyond the light, and it only shines out because of the like blackness that otherwise surrounds those, effectively like a smooth object and then like a pillar that reaches from the floor to the ceiling.
Again, I'll just ask. I'm not gonna through his eyes. I'll just ask him what you got. These.
There's another human building to the southeast. Looks like they didn't carve out a whole corridor to the west of that. And there's a those look tasty. There's some green mushrooms growing in the cave all the way down there to the south. Kinda wanna go to eat some. Sure nothing bad will happen.
Okay. I relayed that information to everybody else. Yeah. I don't know what to think about the whole mushroom thing, but all right.
Burke wants to try to get an overlook from this end of the staircase before we go down. We see the building from here.
just to be clear, is Justin the one who's currently lit? Are you still lighting up a shield and he has a torch?
Both of us are lit. I have a shield. And what do you have, Justin? A torch still?
Yeah, I'm carrying my torch again. Oh.
Yeah. So, like, just beyond your actual light source, you see the actual building is, like, just beyond what you can light up, Burke.
Should I go down first so you can fire down, Justin, if you get in trouble? If there's melee.
Sure, if you want to play.
Well, I don't know if I want to lead. I just want to be the first one and get attacked. Oh, so now we see the building. Got it. This building look better or worse than the temple? I mean, than the forge.
It's a lot, like, smaller height-wise. It, very much, like, goes up, like, 10 feet, like, almost a very traditional, like, story. Doesn't seem to be damaged in the same ways as the forge. The forge seems to have, like, basically, in general, you could get that it might have been attacked from the north, and that whole side building was like a point of refuge or something that caved in. But this one seems to just be almost an unimportant building. It's kind of hard to guess what it might be because it seems very austere. There's not much that sticks out about it other than it's like a small home at present.
I think you guys can come down, check out this building. I'm gonna go up to the corner and just try to listen and see if I can see or hear anything.
You can do a perception. There doesn't really seem to be anything going on around this area. It seems pretty quiet.
Um,
Should we head into the building? What do you guys want to do?
the thing's master may have lived here, right? I don't know.
It's certainly possible.
Oh, coming a little bit closer to the door, these doors actually seemed to be like cracked and damaged. It's among the first times that you've seen the stonework of the actual doors kind of failing. The hinges that kind of keep them in the doorway seem to be melted by some sort of heat that perhaps is the reason they're damaged.
Assuming Burke would relay that to us.
Yeah. Does it look the doors look like we could operate them? Like, do I think I can get them open?
You don't see. I don't think there's any reason that you would look at them and be like, I can't get these open. But it's a pretty similar situation where you're not expecting to open the door so much as like tear it open.
So I try to hand signal that at these guys. You ready for me to open these doors?
No. Oh, actually, I'll stay here.
I'd like to open the door, please.
Roll a string check. You go to like pull on the two door handles and like give them your like full force, and they just don't seem to want to budge. It seems a little bit more like the hinges have been melted into place from whatever's left this door damaged, or these doors damaged.
I have to try that crowbar.
Um, Hold on. Me kind of. It looks like it was melted like on purpose, right? That's what it looks like.
Just looks melted, like there was a battle or a fire or something. It's magic.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it should be sealed, but I
Can you
didn't get
hear?
it.
Do you hear anything on the inside?
I didn't listen. Maybe I could do that. I'll take a listen at the doors.
Roll a perception. Uh, Start to put your ear up to the door, and you feel like you hear something. Listening a little bit closer with your ear to the actual stone, it's your other ear that's hearing something. Need everybody to roll initiative. Feel like I broke something, but I don't know what I did. My bad, I deleted one of you.
I can roll again if you need. I had a 10, so.
Roll another d20 for you. Holy
Oh.
fuck.
Fucking 7.
He's plus 2 or 3.
Oh, for Dex it's +3, so that's 10. Right? Yeah, 10. You add Dex for
Yep.
their initiative, right? Okay.
Alrighty. So these ravenous humanoids seem to run out of nowhere. And they are going to stop there as they close the ground to you. And it's going to go to Victor.
All right. I'm gonna blast them. Oh. Need- Wait. That's too late. I think it's too late anyway. But like, I was thinking, can I have uh you blast him like behind me, and he's not in his.
Still you casting.
So I would still be a disadvantage even if I use it from his point.
Yeah, it's you working the magic from inside of combat that is at disadvantage. He can just be where it comes from. So, like, with Eldritch Blast, I'm not sure of the specific instance that would be super useful, but if something were 160 feet away and you were 40 feet closer than you are, you could cast it through you and shoot an Eldritch Blast 160 feet instead of 120. But most of the time, that ability is useful for like a touch spell. You don't have to be able to touch something in order to send your familiar forward and have it cast a touch spell.
Gotcha. Okay.
If that's the end of your turn, a 10's going to miss, and it will go to Burke.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Burke's gonna attack this guy that's right up on him with his warhammer.
$19 will hit.
And yeah, I think that's it.
One is going to run into you, Justin, and then it's going to be your turn.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. You're at a 10, aren't you? Isn't that what you said? The 6 is my bad.
Yeah, that was just my second roll to get me back in the order. Yeah, but 10 was my first roll.
Yeah, so there's no creature next to you right now.
Okay. I'm going to sort of like back up 5 feet. I'm going to drop my torch, draw my bow, and I am going to probably fire at the one closest to me. I'm going to pull out one of my arrows of the Bloodhawk and attack this thing directly to my south here.
And then roll a separate die. I think it's written so even is what is recoverable.
Right. Yeah. Lose it on odd. Even's recoverable.
21 hits for 11 damage.
I'm going to sort of be kind of backing up towards the stairs with my rest of my movement, and that'll be it for my turn.
One on Burke's gonna claw at him with a 22 to hit. It's gonna do 8 damage to you, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As you get struck, your muscles are going to seize up and feel incredibly weak. Let's see. The next creature that was like running like a bullet towards Victor is going to ravenously turn its head and look at Burke. And it is going to run away from Victor.
I'm gonna use my action to draw my. Can I draw my dagger and excuse me? Yeah, my dagger and hit it.
You can do an unarmed strike at it.
Okay.
If you don't have it in hand, there's nothing that you can do.
I'll do an unarmed strike then.
So I think it's either your strength or your dex, and otherwise it's a straight d20.
Wait, I have like a -9 and a -1 to strength. I don't know if I can.
What's your
even do any
dex then?
damage. +2.
Oh yeah, it'll still be, it's not a finesse weapon. So you could roll to hit, but you're not going to deal any damage.
Okay, so now I'm not gonna do anything at all then.
It's going to run and leap at Burke. He is paralyzed. It is going to attack with advantage. 21 to hit. And yeah, so it's going to hit him for 5, 6, 7 piercing damage as it bites into his neck.
How paralyzed am I? Can I scream?
No, you cannot speak, you cannot move, you pretty much can't do anything. Incapacitated and cannot move or speak. Not take actions or reactions. And attackers have advantage on any attacks that hit. Made from within 5 feet, it's a crit, so that actually should have been for 13 damage.
Okay, so I'm down.
Burke seems to like gasp for air from the ground as these things like ride his body to the ground. And it's
All
gonna
right.
go to Victor.
Okay. Trying to think of. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I grabbed the wrong. What happened there? I feel like I grabbed the wrong one.
I'm going to. Okay.
So the one that attacked me is the one that Justin put an arrow in, right?
Yes, I think both of the ones that have attacked you are the ones that have taken damage.
Yep.
And it's really hard to describe these creatures as looking fucked up because these things are blood and gore all over. Everything about these creatures looks fucked up. Like, regardless of having been hit or not at this point, they look fucked up.
All right. Okay, I want to move to the point where I can use burning hands on these two. The north of Burke. Gonna get an attack of opportunity on me, but essentially I kind of want to be like right there.
It is going to claw out at you. Jot has his own turn, so he doesn't move with you.
Gotcha. So he's still right there.
Yeah, that's why you've got to roll initiative for him. I
Okay.
think it's going to hit you with a 19 for 7, 9, 10, or 7, 9 damage, and I need you to make a constitution saving throw.
Damage. Fucking. All right.
You are going to freeze up as you move away from it. Your muscles seize.
Okay. That's it for me then. Can I still wait? As I seize up, can I tell Jot?
You cannot communicate.
Not even telepathically?
I don't see why you would be able to communicate if you cannot move or speak.
Okay. Like. Okay.
What are you trying to convey?
No, I mean like if I can't move or I can't speak, I'm thinking like I can still like use my brain to talk to him. I guess you're suggesting that paralysis, like I like my brain is just locked up to where I cannot even, like brain function at all. Thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're like paralyzed and incapacitated. Incapacitated to me is like not really conscious in a normal fashion.
Gotcha. Okay, I was taking it as the fact like it was just my body shutting down, not my brain.
What were you trying to convey to him, though?
To blast the um the one to my southwest, excuse me, southeast.
What, he's a raven right now?
I used to invisible. I haven't turned him into a raven or anything.
I thought you turned him into a raven when you all left the spider.
No, I was just saying like if he could do it.
Yeah, because I was curious if you had to recast, if it would cost 10 gold again.
He can. You didn't really have him do an attack before. I feel like you have to actually give a command to have your familiar attack. I think it's a bonus action to do.
I think it may take my action actually to attack with him.
Oh god, there's a familiar variant of the imp?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say, at least for now, like, the fact that you haven't been giving him orders, he's more or less, like, standing by invisible to move on to Justin.
Gotcha. Yep.
All right, I'm going to draw another arrow. I'm going to attack the one that turned and went after Burke here. Another arrow of the Bloodhawk.
Now, another random die. So that one will disappear. And what, you're just going for the northern one that you said? The one that went for Burke last?
Yeah, the one that turned and went after Burke this here.
Yeah, so as that arrow is loosed, this thing's like riding Burke's body to the ground, and you put the arrow like right through the brain stem, and in just an instant it seems to loosen its grip and fall right beside his body.
And then I'm gonna sort of shout at the other ones, trying to draw them away from Burke and Ty. And I'm going to use 30 feet, trying to draw them, and I'm going to. I can't like hold a dash, can I?
No.
Because I'm trying to essentially what I want to do is move if they chase me, essentially trying to draw them back.
Yeah, that's holding an action. It's not using a bonus. Like, you can't hold a bonus ability. It's holding an action. So once you shot, you can't hold anything for your reaction.
Okay. Are they still from where I'm standing up at the top of the stairs now, do I have a clear line of sight on them?
At present, yeah, your torch is right behind Victor, and Burke is still lit up from his shield, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll hold there. I'm trying to let's see if they come after me.
You're essentially like running into the dark there. The last thing that you see is they don't seem to react to you at all. Roll an insight check. You don't quite understand why, but there's at least the thought that one of these creatures, though they don't seem intelligent, it reacted to the moment Burke was paralyzed. So whatever they infect their prey with, others recognize it. And you're probably not going to be attractive until they're dead.
Okay. That kind of destroys my plan. I was hoping to draw them back to the whatever that thing is in the forge and have it deal with them.
Next one is over Victor. It is going to bite at him. It's gonna hit with a 22 and deal 9, 10, 14, 16 damage to Victor.
Still alive.
The one over Burke is going to bite into him. It's gonna miss. It's gonna bite into armor with a 10 at advantage. Oh, and 19. Burke is going to gasp for air again, and it's gonna go to Victor. You said you're up and alive?
I have 1 hit point.
So I think that's just the end of your turn.
It's not a
You can make another Constitution saving throw. You feel your body kind of loosen up.
Oh, I'm back up now. Or no?
You're not paralyzed.
Okay. All right. So I have no reaction.
Nope, that's the end of your turn. Like, that's
Gotcha.
what you got.
Okay.
And it's going to go to Justin.
All right, so seeing that they don't seem interested in me, I'm going to return back down the stairs. I'm gonna pull out another arrow of the Bloodhawk and fire it at the remaining thing on Burke.
$19 will hit. 12 damage. It's going to be a very similar situation. Another arrow gone. This one kind of like through the face of the creature. And again, its body's just going to fall on top of Burke.
All right, and I think be my turn.
Again, biting into Victor. 11 to hit at advantage.
Nope.
It's going to bite
Wow.
into armor. And it's going to go to Burke. He is going to start to breathe normally. And then to Victor. Oh wait, it wasn't even advanced. I guess you were probably on the ground from being paralyzed and incapacitated. So
Yeah.
still kind of works out. But it will go to you. You have another creature in front of you right now.
All right. I'm just gonna try and blast him. Oh, wait. Do I need to stand up first? Imagine,
Yeah,
right?
but that's half your movement.
Yeah, I'll stand up and then I'll try and blast him away from me.
15 will hit. So what? You're just doing like southeast, basically.
I'm gonna
I don't
just
really.
push him. Can I push him straight south or straight east?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know if there's really an ability to control the direction so much as it's away from you.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, it would be straight back.
Yeah, I feel like with the force, how that spell basically works, it seems like it would make more sense that it's always directly away.
Oh fuck! All right.
And then to Justin.
Okay, I'm going to throw out an arrow. I'm going to use a regular arrow this time. Seeing as I already lost two, but I'm going to use my inspiration advantage on this shot as well. I think I got
So
it.
this is where I tried to like quantify the fact that it's not actually advantage. You basically roll it as advantage, but it's not like auto sneak attack.
Oh, okay. Oh, and he's incapacitated, so yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
right,
pretty good time to use that arrow still. I mean, it's up to you whether you make the choice, but the shot will be effectively like just your piercing damage if you use inspiration versus shooting.
Got it. Okay, so if I use the arrow, the Bloodhawk, I will have advantage in the sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he had to be.
He is not a
Sweet
threat.
mob. I mean, I meant for the arrow of the Bloodhawk, like essentially, if he would have to be still sort of conscious for it to get the flanking.
Oh, I feel like the way I worded that was that it gave you advantage. I never actually re-looked at it. If it's actually described as the flanking, then we kind of played that poorly, but for now, I feel like that's a functional magic item, like a consumable magic item.
Okay, yeah. So it says grant advantage if non-incapacitated creature hostile to target within 5 feet.
Yeah, so
Oh.
we've been playing it wrong, having it play out like that. But for what it's worth, I am perfectly okay with you taking another shot with it at this point. And I will try to be better about recalling that for the future.
Okay. Yeah. So in that case, yeah, I'll pull out my. How many have I fired? 3. Obviously, yeah. Okay. So
I think
take
only 2
another.
have disappeared, though. That's the difference.
Right, but I'm saying
Oh,
like I
yeah,
only
okay,
have
because
2
I make
left in
you
my
pick them up.
quiver.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
21 will hit. For 11, 16. Yeah, that'll be another kill there.
All right. And that third one's expended too. So, but I feel like it was worth it.
I think that was your all's first encounter with ghouls, and they're definitely killers. They're vicious creatures to ever let live.
I'm gonna rush over to Burke afterwards and check on him if he seems like he's. I don't know, I probably wouldn't know if he's stable or not, so I just do my best to try and
He's
find out.
labored breathing. He seems effectively like unconscious in like a very disrupted sleep at present. But you can do a medicine check. Well, the 15, a 19, and a 13 for him. Yeah, but you look him over. He seems kind of as well as can be at that point.
Okay.
He like slashes across his chest, where the creature seems to have like slashed into like the crux of his armor, right between like his shoulder, like the pauldron on his shoulder, and like the chest piece. And there's already like a green I feel like efflusion is like when you like are like pussing out of a, but there's like a green pus like coming out of his shoulder at that point where he got slashed, and then the actual like bite into his like the trap, it seems to like almost torn away some of the muscle at his traps.
I really fucked him up.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna try
bad.
and.
That was real bad.
So am I at 1 hit point or 0 hit points at this point?
You can roll a d4. You will regain a hit point after 2 hours. So at this point, you all have an unconscious Burke on your hands, and I would say this is a good point for you all to kind of make an initial decision as to whether you want to try to hunker down here, or if you want to move back and perhaps update the spider.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. Maybe the spider has some idea how we deal with that thing in the forge. Tell her about it, and maybe, you know,
Yeah, I agree.
maybe she can try and. I don't know. I don't like the look of those wounds on Burke.
And apparently nothing dies down here, so maybe more of these things. If we try and hunker down here, I'm pretty fucked up myself, so we need to back. At least find somewhere back there to hunker down.
I'm wondering if I should burn these things, but I'm afraid that would attract more of them.
That would leave. We're kind of in the. We need to get up out of here real quick. So
You gonna search them?
Uh,
yeah, sure. We can do that real quick, right?
Avoid those claws.
closest thing these things look to having pockets is massive, like chasms in their flesh.
Nice.
They are naked humanoids. Some of them resemble dwarves. Some of them resemble orcs. Yeah, I think it's effective to say there's like an orc, a human, and a dwarf. And they all seem to be undead that's taken over in a horrendous fashion.
I mean, the other thing we could do is try and drag one of these bodies and show it to the thing in the forge to prove that we're on its side. We hate the undead too, but more concerned about Burke right now.
Yeah, let's go and hightail out of here.
Probably take both of you to carry me without carrying that thing.
Yeah, no.
You could bring a part of it, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll,
I think we want to be careful with you. Yeah, not like
I'll get
sort of
you God to help.
Maybe as we get closer, can you send you got to let the spider know we're headed back?
Yeah, I can do that. Oh, oh yeah, I guess that we should.
That the overall plan to basically two-man fireman carry Burke back towards the spider.